This week, I'm gonna do some gathering of seeds. Show you how you can really increase some of the plants in your permaculture orchard. So stay tuned. So, harvesting seeds, it's really easy. Timing is really important when you get them. So we had snow this morning, made it for a little wet, but not bad. Did a first round here, just to show you. So here's some of the seeds collected. This is garlic chives, my number one top 10 perennial. Go check that top 10 perennials, and it really is my favorite. So I don't want to miss gathering seeds from garlic chives because it's just so good. Not at this time of year because now they've really frozen down and the stems are drying, but I'll show you what they look like to harvest them. Really quite easy. Timing is so important. As I said, what you most want to get for timing of seed harvest is the seeds have to be ripe. If you're going to pick them underripe, many of them won't really be viable. If you pick them too late, a whole lot of them will end up falling down. So, let me see a good patch here. Got a few here. So here's a bunch of garlic chives. All I do is I grab the clump and I make it into a good clump so that I get all of them. And then with my secateurs, trusty secateurs, I just gather the whole bunch. So that's it. Put it in the container. Off. So see, a whole big clump, but I've harvested all except for one. So it's really nice. Get them all in one go. Off to the next one. Just to show you, here you see the seeds are in and the seed pods have popped open. If I just gently shake that a little, you'll see the seeds are coming out. So it's time. They hold a little bit. That's the key time to catch them. Here we are, mid-November almost, and some of the seeds will fall by this time of year, but I guarantee that the seeds are all ripe. Another trick to know if they're ripe is the stem gets brown right below it. If they're not ripe, especially in these, the stem will still be green. So just to show you another plant, although I'm not harvesting these for seed, but just to show you, this is alfalfa, and you can just pull them off. That's one way. You can cut them and then separate them however you like. So that's the seed pods here. Then if you crush them a little, they are nice and dry already, but if you crush them, oh, there's some of the seeds coming out. See if you can see that. Some of those seeds there. There's one. So that's one of the seeds. There are many seeds available at this time of year. Just choose which ones you want and go get them. I could be harvesting. Here's black locust seed, and it doesn't take long to have. Just this bunch here is enough seed to put in the whole orchard of all the black locust nitrogen fixers I would need. I wouldn't use just the clumps from one tree unless it was really exceptional tree. I usually like to harvest from a few trees just to diversify the genetics a little more, but within each pod, they're falling, but there's seeds right there. So each pod has 2, 4, 6, 8 or 10 seeds per pod. And if you look in the tree, there's hundreds and hundreds of pods. So nature's generosity for seeds. I wouldn't usually pick these in the fall unless I really had to, but these seeds, honey locust seeds, I leave these till the spring, mainly because then they've properly had a good exposure to cold. If I had picked them, kept them inside, they may not have been what's called stratified or had the right amount of cold needed. So I like to leave seeds that I don't have to pick, that they're not endangered. These won't all fall out of their pods by spring. So I could pick these in the spring, and they've already been stratified. I could direct seed them right off, right away. But I don't even need any more of these seeds. They're propagating themselves right now. So think of, when do you want to pick them? Do you want to pick them in the fall or in the summer, in the spring? Think of when you're going to use them. And if you're going to store them, take a look at what's the best way to store those seeds for a long time. Usually the colder it is. That's why the seed vault in Svalbard is minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit, I think, or no, Celsius. So it's 0 Fahrenheit that they keep the seeds at. And that's the best way to keep seeds for a long time. Just keep them in the freezer. Don't expose them to up and down temperatures. They'll stay nice and steady. They're just cold. They're thinking it's winter, and winter goes on for years. So if you're going to store them in the cold, preferably freezer or fridge, and bring them out when you need them. There's some good books on seed saving, or especially by the seed saving councils, and they've done some good work. So figure out what you want to pick, when do you want to pick it. You know what, pick it whenever you can, because I've had times where I said, oh, that's not quite ready, and I come back next week and either the wildlife has gotten to them or the seeds just have all fallen to the ground. Sometimes just pick it when you can. Even if it's not the perfect conditions, you can always come back and pick more if it is better conditions later. So just get it when you can. Get it in the ground, sooner the better, and enjoy the increase. That's all seed pods in there. See how productive, it's not leaves, that's all seed pods. So there's thousands of seed pods in each of these black locust trees. Not quite as many in these honey locusts, because this one happens to have dropped the seeds. So here is the seed pods of the honey locust. So these are thornless honey locusts. Please don't plant regular honey locust. If you're going to put them in your permaculture orchard, put thornless ones, please, because you don't need more thorns when you're working around these trees. So these are all the seed pods, and each one of these has 10, 15, or 20 seeds in a pod. You can hear them shaking in there. There's one that's got quite a bit more seeds left in it. So you see they have different habits. Some drop their pods very soon, and some hang on very hard. You can hear these almost like a maraca. So let's check these out. Oh, they're nice and dry. They're easily popping out. So from one of these, there's easily 20 seeds in a pod, and there's hundreds of pods in the tree. So one seed, one tree. A few years later, I don't know, there's at least 50 pods on there with 20 seeds. So that's from one seed to 1,000 seeds. Nature's increase. Amazing. It's amazing. It's a miracle. We're picking up these garlic chives right now. So you see there's one, there's another clump, and so on down the rows. But I just want to show you how how many seeds you can get from one plant. Another one, if you go see the 10x video, so you see here's all just one plant. Each plant will have, or here's just 2 stems, and the number of seeds in there is really quite crazy. You'll get dozens and dozens of seeds. So even if you just got a dozen seed, you've already increased by 10. But the beauty, and one of the things nature is just incredible with, is when you think you put in 1 seed. This would have been 1 seed originally to get this plant, and every year the plant puts out a few more shoots and a few more shoots, and these plants are about 4 or 5 years old, and this is just 2 stems, and I still had seeds in there, but just with these 2 stems I've got enough here. What would there be? At least 30 or 40 seeds. So I could start, that 1 seed gave 1 plant. If I wanted to speed it up, I'd put 5 seeds to give me 1 clump, and then so 5 seeds in a few years give me 30 per stem. So there's easily, I'd say 300 seeds available from this 1 plant. And so it's not 10x in the case of perennials. It really is 100. That parable of a seed will give you 30, 60, or 100-fold from the Bible, it's really the case. You see how a plant can give you 100-fold or 100 times return from 1 seed. It's really one of the miracles of nature, that a plant can give you hundreds of seeds from 1 seed. So that's the beauty of it. That's how you can increase your orchard in a big way very quickly. So here's just a few plants worth. And so let me just show you this one. Again, you want to grab the whole clump, make it as 1 stem, and wherever the first rosette of seeds are, that's where you cut it. So it just makes it quicker to harvest, gather, and you'll hear seeds falling. That's true, but you know what? I actually don't mind having some of these seeds fall and repopulate, and then I end up getting garlic chives growing up like weeds. Imagine that, like weeds. So that timing is key. It's got to be dry or ripe, preferably, or depending on the plant. The pods have started to open. In this case, that's important. In other ones, you don't want them to open, because once they open, then you will lose all the seeds. So I like to have dry conditions. We've had 2 sunny days the last 2 days, even though it rained or snowed during the night. It was sunny yesterday and very windy, and today is calm, cool, calm, but dry. And I like to harvest seeds and store them when it's dry. Certainly if you're working in a field and you're having to harvest with a machine, if it's really wet, you shouldn't go into your field when it's really wet. So farmers wait till conditions are favorable, and usually till the crop they're harvesting the seeds have dried up a bit or a lot. And that's really all there is to it. You see how, and it doesn't take fancy tools. I could have torn them off with my hands if I wanted to. So it doesn't take much. You can multiply 100 times your seeds. So get planting next spring. Even if you say, I only have 10 or 20 seeds, goodness, put them in the ground. If you keep them, you know what? They have a lifespan and they'll die after a few years. So you gotta put your seeds in the ground to start getting a harvest. In this case, a harvest of seeds, but we've had harvests of greens. In this case, it's a great perennial herb. that we can use. Get out there, get seeding, or at least get picking on some of the seeds. And maybe I really don't need this many, so maybe next spring I'll figure out a way that I can send you seeds if you really wanted some. Great seed to have, great plant to start with, and the trees like it as well. So here's the harvest, about 45 minutes of picking. This is compacted, so just want to show you the seeds that are separated already. Just as this is not beaten or anything, but there's a good quantity of seed that's already come off. There will be certainly more. I don't like to press this together too much. I like it to be dry. I want the plants to get some air. I packed this down while I was picking it because I was running out of room. But these two containers, as they dry down, then I'll just put a cover on top, shake it good, bang it a few times, and most of those seeds will already come off. Then I'll just pick up what's at the bottom and probably make about probably around 1 liter, quarter gallon or a quart equivalent of seeds, which is a lot of seeds. You could plant probably an acre with that. So the reason it takes a little longer is because it's stretched out along rows. If it was in a clump, obviously, it would be quicker to harvest. But hey, it's not that bad of a thing. Time of the year makes it good. So enjoy your harvest, enjoy your time picking, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey, please subscribe and check out our latest video. So thanks for watching this simple harvesting of seed technique. See you next week. Bye.